Remember a time when you were little and you felt really confident. You felt good. Whether it was alone in your room and you were doing a dance in the mirror or something, okay? Take a look at what age did you feel the most confident? And you may even want to put that age in there. And I'll share a quick story. When I was 5 years old, I was very, very, very petite, but I was very, very tiny. And I remember I went to the kitchen and I wanted to help my mom. She had very small children at the time. I was 5 years old and I went and I grabbed the chair from the kitchen and I dragged it all the way from the breakfast room into the kitchen and I put it where the sink was. And my mom had some dishes in there and I carefully washed every dish because I wanted to help her. I wanted to be that good daughter. And I remember cleaning the whole sink. And I even went like this and I said, I was so proud of myself and I felt so good. And I remember looking out in the kitchen window, feeling like I could conquer the world. And then my mom comes into the kitchen and I was so excited to show her how I did the sink. And then my mom says to me, she looks at it disapprovingly and she said, I still get emotional because that little kid inside you never forgets these moments. And she said, how come you didn't clean? There was some soap, little soap bubbles around the faucet. And she said, how come you didn't wipe the faucet? And I remember in that moment, you're 5 and you were feeling so proud. And then in that moment, you were crushed. And I think she didn't recognize, because I know, knowing my tete and knowing my sipti, they were perfectionists. And I know she only did to me what was done to her. But in that moment, and this is for all of you who are grieving that little boy or little girl inside you that was so proud and then it was crushed. And your whole life you spend trying to clean the soap around the sink, your whole life. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is these moments when you're little define how you move moving forward, okay? And that you will spend a lifetime trying to prove to people your worth. And the only thing I can share with each and every one of you is honor that little boy or that little girl in you when you were 6 or 7 and you were so proud and somebody crushed it for you. That it was not your fault. It doesn't negate what you did or how proud you were of the artwork or doing well in sport or doing these things. Okay? So I digress, but this is where you cannot argue with people who are coming from their own limitations or their own pain. So stop arguing. Stop trying to prove your worth. Whatever you did was good enough. And you need to stop trying. If you want to wear earrings, wear the earring. Yep, this is my choice. This is what I like. And you repeat it like a parrot, like you would with a 3-year-old. And it's not to infantilize our parents or the people around us. It's you don't have to explain. Just say, yeah, no, this is my preference. This is my choice. And then you want to have stable behavior. The more stable you are, the more you can have emotional regulation, the less power they have over you. Now, I know in our Arab families, it's very difficult, but you want to build, if you feel weak in family spaces, it's often because you lack personal evidence of your own competence. You need to go find that. So choose one area in your life where you feel really good in, whether it's your career, maybe your education, maybe your fitness, your spiritual grounding, maybe your financial stability. And I challenge each and every one of you to commit to the next week. Start with 1 week We build habits, I would say move to 30 days, 90 days, where every day you find your evidence of your own personal evidence of your competence. A time where you set a boundary, an area where you strengthened yourself even quietly. To say, I didn't call that cousin back because that felt good. I didn't need to call her back. And so every day, confidence comes from progress, not applause. Okay? Confidence comes from your own progress in your own life, working towards your own goals, not the applause from other people. Okay? Let's talk about strengthening your emotional regulation. Now, this is a whole other live, a whole other topic. For you to build confidence, it's about you understanding your emotions enough. And we talked last week that we're a culture that suppresses emotions. So you want to learn to name your emotions first, and then be able to recognize, again, what's your triggers. Family pressure, that family pressure activates childhood nervous system patterns. So many adult Arab will say to me, Tiffany, I don't understand why I reacted that way. I said, you're not reacting as the 30 or 35-year-old. You're reacting as that 5, 6, 7-year-old. So by honoring and recognizing your nervous system is going to go back to that little boy or that little girl who was feeling unsafe, who was feeling judged, who was feeling shamed for existing. So your symptoms may be your voice starts to shake, over explaining. You may start to cry, as I did in here. You start to feel the pain or anger, or you have a freeze response. You just freeze and just let them annihilate you with their criticisms and everything else. So a quick regulation tool, as many of you already know, which we don't honor enough, is the breath. So even when they're in your face and they're, you're fat, you're dumb, you're not like your cousin, whoever. It's about slowing yourself down enough to utilize your breath. And so you want to do a slow inhale first. You could try it in here. Slow inhale. And you want to hold it for 4 seconds and then breathe out. But you want to breathe it out longer than the for 6 seconds. You want to relax your jaw or your shoulders. So sometimes it's just adjusting. If you're sitting down, you want to plant your feet on the ground and get grounded. And as they're talking, you don't have to listen, because they're just tough-the-thing stuff you've probably already heard most of your life, and you want to get centered in your breath. And if you're becoming too dysregulated, give yourself permission to say, I hear you, go to the bathroom, maybe go outside, go for a walk. If you can, mix it up. But the moment you could start focusing on your breath, I also do a little bit of tapping. Obviously, you don't want to tap with, and for your family already thinks you're probably unwell, but putting pressure, your feet on the floor, and you add a little bit of pressure to release that tension in your body. Ice cold water also can be very helpful if you're in a work situation or a family situation where there may be a lot of intense conversations. Ice cold water in like a water bottle or something. Ice cold water, it will change your body.
If this video resonated with you, subscribe and join the community.